Hello students, good afternoon and welcome to our math class today. I hope you are feeling fine and you have enjoyed our previous lessons. In today's lesson, we'll be continuing from page 66, unit 13. Today we are doing another level of 2D and that of 3D shape. In your previous lessons on 2D and that of 3D shapes, you've come to realize that 2D shapes are shapes with 2 dimensions and 3D shapes are shapes with 3 dimensions. Okay, so we know that 2D shapes are flat shapes that only have, let's say, the length and that of the breadth, okay? And in the case of the 3D shapes, these are objects looking shapes that you can touch, you can hold, and those are having 3 dimensions. That means they're having the length, the breadth, and that of the width, okay? So the width is the thickness or how thin that object actually looks like. Well, today I'll be introducing you to some few words when it comes to 2D, okay? So in this lesson, our concentration is going to be on 2D shapes. Fine. So when we say a polygon, what is a polygon? I know some of you are reading from the board already, but a polygon is a 2D shape with 3 or more straight lines and angles, okay? So when we say a polygon, it means that we are talking about a 2D shape, but this 2D shape is having 3 or more straight lines and straight sides and angles. Okay, so when we look at this shape that we have here, so this is an example of a polygon, okay? Your square, your rectangle, and your triangles, they are all shapes of a polygon, okay? They are all polygons. Well, so this is an example of a shape of a polygon. So it means it's having more than 3 or more straight sides, okay? So this is 1 side, 2 side, 3 side, 4 and 5. That means it's even having more than 3 straight sides. Well, then we look at angle. What is an angle? So an angle is when 2 lines are meeting. When 2 lines are meeting, they form an angle. Okay, so this line and that of this line, they meet here, so there's an angle here, and then there is an angle also over here. There's an angle here, there's an angle here, and an angle here. So keep it in mind that whenever 2 lines are meeting, they form an angle. Well, but don't deviate from knowing the meaning of a polygon. So a polygon is a 2D shape with 3 or more straight sides, okay? So the sides are these ones, and with an angle. We will move to a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is also a polygon, and it is a 4-sided polygon, okay? So whenever you are talking about a polygon, you know that they are shapes with 3 or more straight sides. So a quadrilateral, like this square, means it is having 4-sided, it's a 4-sided figure, and it is still a polygon, okay? So this is a square, it is a quadrilateral, it is a polygon as well. So let's look at the next one. Parallelogram is a quadrilateral with opposite lengths that are parallel to each other. The opposite sides are equal in length and there are no right angle. Do you remember your right angles? Well, if you've forgotten, I have a drawing here to show you your right angle, okay? So a right angle is when your 2 lines are meeting perpendicularly to form 90 degrees, okay? So this is coming vertically whilst this is horizontally, and they meet over here and they form a 90-degree angle. So our 90-degree angle is what we call a right angle. And we say that a parallelogram is having parallel lines, okay? We say it is having a parallel lines, but the angles are not 90 degrees. That means the angle that are formed here and here are not 90 degrees, because this line, it is not a perpendicular line, and this one is also not the same, but this one and this one are parallel lines. Fine. So now, what is a parallel line? So a parallel lines are two lines that goes on the same direction, opposite to each other with the same distance, but will not meet. So this is an example of a parallel line, okay? There are two lines, so this line and that line. So these two lines are parallel lines. The space between here and here are the same. That means they are apart, okay? So we say they are apart of the same distance, and they go as far as they can go, and they cannot meet. So when you open to page 66 of your textbook, the learner's book, you see that parallel lines are two that are same distance apart, okay? So they are same distance apart. This line and this line are same apart, okay? And also along their lengths, the two lines will never cross. That means when they go, as long as they go, they will not cross, okay? So again, when you look at your book, you see a regular polygon and you see other shapes of polygons. So I want you to take your time and study page 66 and look at all other possible things there that will help you to understand our lesson on 2D shapes, okay? After you've gone through and watched this video, I'm going to post your first activity for you, and then we'll do other discussions on 2D. I'll see you in our second video. Hello students, welcome to our second video. I hope you have enjoyed your first video on the lesson of 2D and that of 3D shapes. In this video, we'll be looking at polygons, okay? So from the first video, we learned that polygons are 2D shapes with 3 or more straight sides and angles, okay? So we know that polygons are 2D shapes. That means polygon is a two-dimensional, that means 2D shape with straight lines, okay? So the straight sides are 3 or more. So the question is, what are some of the examples or the types of polygons that we can talk about? So polygons can be a quadrilateral, okay? So here are some of the names of some polygons, okay? So a polygon could be a quadrilateral. That means that polygon is having 4 sides, okay? So a polygon can be a quadrilateral having 4 sides. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be a square, it could be a rectangle, or it can be a parallelogram or a shape like this, okay? Again, a polygon can also be a pentagon, okay? So a pentagon is also a polygon. So a pentagon is a shape with 5 sides, okay? So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That means it is having 5 sides. So any 5-sided shape is called a pentagon, okay? So it's a pentagon. Hexagon. A hexagon means a shape that is having 6 sides. Hexagon, that means 6 sides, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It having 6 sides. So the list can continue and continue, okay? To octagon, to any size that you can have. So these are names of some polygons that you can deal with. So let's do a bit clarification about this, okay? So a quadrilateral is 4-sided. That means it is having 4 sides, okay? A pentagon is having, it's a 5-sided shape. That means it is having 5 sides, okay? So if this can confuse you, you can clean this one and put here so that you don't get confused, okay? Okay, so we have 4 sides, 5 sides, and then this will give us 6 sides, okay? So in your book, the list will continue for you to know the other names of polygons that we have. Okay, so whenever you have any different drawings put together, I believe that it will be very easy for you to differentiate what is a quadrilateral, what is a pentagon, what is a hexagon, and then what is the other ones that you also study from your book. Well, you have your second activity that will be from the skills builder, pages 52 and that of 53. Please, you are to do question 1, 2, 3, 4 and that of 5. I'm sure we will continue our discussions when we meet on our group for better understanding in case there's any difficulty. I'll see you in our third video. Welcome back, students, on our final video. So the recap of this lesson is that first we are looking at 2D and that of 3D shapes. Our main focus today was on 2D shapes. So 2D shapes are shapes that are having 2 dimensions, okay? So with the 2 dimensions, we can talk about the length and that of the breadth, okay? These are flat drawings that doesn't have any thickness or thinness, okay? That means they don't have any width. And these are 2D shapes. So in our 2D shapes, we also studied about a polygon, okay? So you remember that a polygon is a 2-dimensional shape with straight sides and that is also having angles. You studied about angles and you know about your right angle, that is a 90 degree. We also moved further to study about some of the names of polygons that you can come across. And first we talked about a quadrilateral, okay? So a quadrilateral means a shape that is having 4 sides. Pentagon is having 5 sides, whilst a hexagon is having 6 sides, okay? The list continues in your textbooks. So I am sure at this point you have also discovered the other names of polygons that we have. You have done well in your first and second activities, and we will conclude this lesson by having our homework from the challenge book. We are doing our exercise from pages 42 and that of 43. Please, you are to answer questions 1 up to 4. I'd like to say a big thank you for joining class today, and I will see you again next week. Goodbye.